Hey, did you know there's a lot more going on right now at our websites? Are you watching all 4 of them? If not, check them out. There's a list right here. We got 3 YouTube channels and 1 audio-only channel for your enjoyment. So come on and dig in and see all the stuff we do here at the North American Snow Queen Palace. Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in? Hello, everybody. It's Michelle Marie Twain, North American Snow Queen, and of course, it's another day of the week here at Public Access 191. It used to be Channel 13, though. What's 191 now? So, I don't really have a topic for today. Not really. We covered pretty much all the videos that we're going to cover on the starting up your video studio, but well, I just wanted to try to let you know that I'm working on a lot of different projects. So I hope you enjoyed that video discussion we did on the YouTube on video production, and I hope that it was an informative educational program for you, and you had a chance to go further with it, and we're going to try to do more videos like that in the near future. I haven't really come up with a definitive idea, to discuss, because, first thing is I'd like to encourage all of you guys to come and contact me if you got suggestions, because, I'm open to most anything. Unfortunately, the Public Access channel does not really have a forum board that I know of where you can contact me and let me know about suggestions or ideas. I'm going to give you some ways to reach me because it's only fair. First of all, for those of you who also watch me on YouTube, you already know the ways to reach me. But here on Cable 13, you probably don't even have a clue. So let me give you some ways to reach me. If you are on Google Plus, the best way to reach me is plus Michelle Marie Delaney. That's the plus sign followed by my THELE space MARIE space DS and dog ALENE. On Facebook, it's just Michelle Marie Delaney, no plus mark, so it says MICHELE MARIE DS and dog ALENE. On email, if you'd rather send me email, it's just BICHELA3 at gmail.com. It's one of the 3 major ways to reach me. You could also call me on my cell phone. However, with my hearing loss, that's a problem for some things. I don't have my TDD set up on my cell phone. I do have a TDD on my home phone, but does not automatically answer the phone yet. I will get to that. Okay, that's something for the future over another project. And the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, of course, is I just mentioned it, my hearing loss. It does make it harder because some people do not have a lot of empathy for the deaf or the blind. And they sure the heck don't have a lot of empathy for people who are deaf and blind. And that causes a lot of problems because I want to reach out to you. And I want to be open to your comments and suggestions. So like I said, I want to talk to you. And I'm giving you ways to reach me. Maybe some of you might say, well, you do so many different videos. What are your favorite things? Well, that's a good topic. What is my favorite things? It's called Welcome to My World, right? Well, that means I've got a world. I sure do. Okay. I love gas lights. I love gas cooking. I love gas refrigeration. I love Victorian equipment. I love Victorian homes with the original gas lights working in them. I love older phones. I love older analog phones with rotary dials and push buttons. I like analog TV. I like vintage audio and video gear. I love PAL versus NTSA. Obviously, we do our videos in PAL. And, of course, for you Cable 13, we have to port them to NTSA for you so you can watch them. But if you watch them on our YouTube channel, we usually put the videos up in the native PAL format because MP4 takes care of all the details and you don't usually have a problem. I am a Mac user. I also use Linux. I used to use MS-DOS. I like Windows 3.1. It's not my favorite. I use it, but it's not my favorite. I love cats. I'm not into dogs. I enjoy having a clean, conversation with, where I don't have to use a lot of potty mouth, which I really don't like potty mouth. I don't like talking potty. It makes me feel kind of uncomfortable. I really like being able to talk to you, in a way that's appropriate for families and children. That's one of the reasons why my videos, I've always worked so hard not to be, I try to keep in mind the needs of the children. And I also understand that there are people who may not understand all the topics I discuss. So I work hard to reach out to you and explain things, as we did in the last few segments, about videos. And as you saw on the video from last week, I am going to be running for selectman for the town of Winsted. I'm really looking forward to seeing my campaign go far, and but I need to know what you need to know. I want to know what you want. How far should we go? What can we do to change the world? The world is a strange place, and it definitely is a strange place. There's a lot of things going on right now in the world that just doesn't make any sense to anybody. We've covered that many times on my YouTube channel, and we haven't really talked much about them here because we make these programs a couple weeks in advance so that we can get them out onto Cable 13. And the reason we do it that way is because I don't really have a lot of money for blank DVD media, so I try to put at least 2 programs onto a DVD when I can, because it's the easiest way to do it. So I try to keep my topics that are generic enough that I can go by, that can be played anytime. So if I give a specific date or event, then that makes that program kind of more or less time sensitive, and that makes it harder. If I make the program generic enough that it can be placed onto a public access channel whenever there's a time available, then people don't know when it was recorded. That's not entirely true, though, because you kind of do know, because if it's recorded near the end of the month, when my hair is growing out, you can see it. Okay, so it gives you an idea. If, like, in the second and third week of the month, you'll start seeing my roots sprout, and the regrowth starts to come in. My hair is naturally kind of a brownish color. I actually bleach it. I have it done by a local salon here in Winsted, and I've worked hard to keep my hair in good standing for many years. And not always successful, but, well, I tried. And that's probably the hardest thing of all, is because I am on a fixed income. I am legally blind. I am partially deaf, okay? And yet, I also help my landlord with clerical needs, as well as building suggestions and things like that. I grew up in a house of tradespeople. I am a certified electrician's helper. I'm actually got a lot of skills. My major was computer programming at Northwestern Connecticut Community College. My minor was business. And that gives me a big advantage when it comes to understanding the human mind and the way it works. But also because I also changed my major after I graduated from Northwestern Connecticut Community College. I changed a major to psychology with the concept of that if I can debug a computer program, why can't I not debug the brain? That may sound kind of simplified, but it turns out that what I learned in psychology and what I learned in computer programming do kind of have a mash up fairly well. Some of the things, of course, with human beings where computer programs are concerned or different is human beings always tend to say, "But we've always done things that way," or "We've always done things this way." Where a computer program basically just follows a series of instructions from beginning to end, where that's the biggest difference between a program and the human mind. Is the human mind is sometimes is very stuck in the mud and gets kind of wrapped up in its own little issues. But that's very common. That's part of the human existence, the human element, if you will. Thanks to Dell for that wonderful concept, the human element. But no matter what, I'm here. This is what I do for a living. I like to reach, preach, and teach. Actually, not so much preach. I just use it because it rhymed well. I'm not really trying not to be preachy. I really don't like preaching at people. It really makes me feel like, it's like when you go into a church and the pastor says, "Hey, do it because of this, and you will follow the." No, all I say to you is always ask questions, especially if you think something is really not right, and make sure and ask. And if someone just says to you just because, then you should actually be asking the questions and think about what you feel about when someone says just because that's going to affect everything and how it affects you and the way you think. Here in Winston, I've been here in this town since I graduated from Gilbert School in 1987, by the way. I started Gilbert School as a freshman in 1983. I have had many friends in this town. I've still got, actually, I'm kind of a wallflower. No, I'm still kind of a wallflower now. I'm sorry, guys. That's right. And I do, I happen to believe that it is, when we get older, that even the wallflowers can still grow to be nice plants, too. I happen to believe that because I tend to be an introvert, I tend to be like the fool on the hill. And actually, that's kind of become my song, because the fool on the hill sees the world going around, and they see everything that's going on. Sometimes, the reason why the people in the trenches don't necessarily like the fool on the hill is the fool on the hill sees what's going on. Anybody who has Asperger's is the same way. We see everything, and we are not afraid to ask, why is that the way it is? Okay? That's probably one of the reasons why my campaign is going to be very interesting, because if I win, how much can I change in the Winston's economy for the better? I don't know. I'll have to see. I'd like to ask you guys before I go, if you guys can give me any suggestions for video topics for next month. I mean, for the next two weeks, which means I really would like to know what you'd like to study, what you would like to see, what would you like to learn about. So, contact me by sending email to bichela3@gmail.com, or you can post a message to me on Facebook as Michelle Marie Delaney. That's Michele space Marie space D as in dog ALENE. And or you can also contact me on Google Plus at plus Michelle Marie Delaney, and give me suggestions for video topics, or if you got complaints, comments, videos, whatever. Let me know. If you're watching this on Welcome to My World, which is actually on the YouTube channel where we cover these programs, you can always leave me comments in the comment sections below this video as well, and I will look at them. As I said, I'll look at almost all suggestions. It doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily respond to them right away. If I do, I will, but I'll try to at least look at them. And if I can respond for whatever reasons, I will do so. Well, for the time being, guys, I want to thank you all very much for watching my videos. And in the near future, we're going to work on some new ones and come up with some new topics. But with your help, we can definitely come up with some new ones. I'm sure there are questions you'd like to know. Maybe you'd like to know more about my background. Well, how did I get started in doing YouTube videos? Well, I'll explain the process. But what was my personal desire to do it? What exactly does Pink Rose Communications, which is my communications division, have to do with the Snow Queen Palace? Well, here's the answer. Pink Rose Communications is the communication branch, the outreach branch of the North American Snow Queen Palace, where we talk about news and articles and communications interests. Whereas what I do with North American Snow Queen, as I said before, is from a Yule to a Star every year. That has nothing specifically to do with communications, but of course I do find out that as I grow up and get older, is that there's a lot more to being a Snow Queen than just enjoying the wonderful, beautiful cold weather. I tend to have to be able to explain and express what I find so beautiful about winter, and that's not always easy. But during the other months, from Ostara until Yule, I have to find something to discuss, and so we cover a large gamut of topics, from, as you saw, DIY videos to politics to almost anything and everything in between. And we're, as I said, me and Lumi. I might as well mention Lumi. Yeah, you might as well mention me. Yeah, I might as well mention you. You obviously have been watching these presentations here on Cable 13, but you've probably been saying to yourself is, wish Michelle would introduce me more to the audience. No, not really. I don't really think it's a big deal if I don't get a lot of airplay. I mean, I'd like to get some more, but I think that you do better when you and I work together on a channel video, because for some reason, otherwise, you're kind of like drowning and someone has to throw you a life preserver. You mean like I'm overboard on a ship? Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I think you're right. But how do you feel about the public access channel? This is just one of the many ways Pink Rose Communications has reached out to the population, and it's stretching you thin because you're dealing the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, your Listen.com audio channel, and now this Welcome to My World cable program plus the YouTube channel is just intense. It's a lot of material to cover in a short space. Yeah, but I do like what you've done, and I think that it's a wonderful sign of love and dedication that you want to do this. Most people would have given up on doing this, but you seem to enjoy taking the challenge and going further. Thanks. I think right now I think we're going to get ready to wrap this up, Bloom, because I think we've kind of rambled on long enough. Yeah, I think we have, but maybe, again, hopefully the audience, like you said, will give you some comments, suggestions for topics. And again, maybe you ought to give my email address too. Your email address? Okay. It's, sure, if you want to reach Lumi, and she does have her own, by the way, it's LUMIFINISTRA@gmail.com. And as you saw at the beginning of the video, she has her own YouTube page. Right. And we cover a lot of topics between the two of us. And so if you have any questions for Lumi or myself, you don't have to reach us. According to the rules of the Cable 13, I can mention this briefly. We could use your assistance financially. These videos take a lot of time to make, and we have only a very limited budget. We do have a couple of different funding sources. We have GoFundMe and Patreon. GoFundMe is how we finance the videos, as does on Patreon. So let me tell you how to reach those two sites. They are mentioned in the rolling credits in the end, but you may not see them in the end. It's www.patreon.com/BICHELA for Patreon, and www.gofundme.com/BICHELA for GoFundMe. Donations are welcome. And if you want to make equipment donations or any hardware, old video cameras, DVRs, VCRs, whatever, okay, just send me an email. And yes, we will take European video gear. If you do got an old TV from Europe, sure, I'll take it. I can find ways to make it work on US mains power, and I can certainly get SCART cables easy enough to plug in a VCR and things like that. I would love to have any European appliances, especially video equipment, cameras, cables, whatever. Okay, so just contact me at BICHELA3@gmail.com and let me know what you got. And we'll see what we can work out something. Because anything donations we can get helps us to keep these videos running on time. We also could use more microphones too. We only have 2, and we really would like to be able to have at least another 2 microphones for larger group gatherings. Any kind that uses the standard XLR plug would be great. Maybe something as inexpensive as a Pyle PD-Mac1 to a Shure SM58 or PG48 or PG58 would be fine. It would be wonderful because we could be able to go further in our video and audio mission. Well, that's it for now. So, talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, guys.